What's up, travellers? Welcome back to the channel. As J Aviation HQ here, and welcome back to the channel. As mentioned, today we have the model review of the Cathay Pacific Airways Boeing 777-300ER, wearing the enlarged titles for the new titles for Cathay Pacific. Before we go any further into today's video though, go ahead and leave the thumbs up below. Great indication of how much you enjoy the content here on this channel, and of course what you like seeing in today's video. If you want to come along and tune into more content like this, like the model review of other model aircraft that I have in my collection coming soon, including the Sichuan, some of the Sichuan Panda route liveries, go ahead and subscribe below. And while you're there, ding the bell icon to be notified when videos go live here on the channel. More unboxings coming up very soon, and of course the Random Ops number 7 episode of the airport update coming up very soon as well. So look out for that. As mentioned, the model review of the Cathay Pacific Boeing 777-300ER by NG Models. Let's go ahead and read out the information of the airline, and of course the information about the aircraft as well. Just a disclaimer before I do that: all of the information that I read out, and of course all the sources of the information that I read out, will be in the description below as well. So founded on September the 24th of 1946, Cathay Pacific is the flag carrier airline of Hong Kong, with its main hub located at Hong Kong International Airport. Operating along with its subsidiary airlines, they operate to more than 190 destinations and 60 plus countries worldwide, including scheduled passenger and cargo services and codeshare and joint ventures. According to planespotters.net, Cathay Pacific operates a fleet consisting of 179 aircraft, including 52 Boeing 777 widebodies. This makes up 17 of the stock standard 300 variant, of course not the non-ER variant, and 35 of the 300ER variant. On December the 6th of the year 2000, Cathay Pacific took delivery of the world's first built Boeing 777-200. Registration-wise, that was Bravo Dash Hotel November Lima, with the MSN number of being 001, the first built 777, which is now preserved and displayed at the Palmer Air and Space Museum in Tucson, Arizona, in the USA, near Davis Monthan Air Base. So reading out some information about this particular airframe now. This aircraft MSN number and the manufacturer serial number is 41428. This aircraft's line number is 1101. Of course, meaning that this aircraft here was the 1101st 777 to roll out for Boeing. This aircraft here is a Boeing 777-300ER, particularly a 367ER, because 67 is the Boeing designated code for aircraft being delivered straight to Cathay Pacific. Very cool. This aircraft here is a 12-year-old Boeing 777-300ER, which performed its first flight on April the 27th of 2013 and was built and produced at Everett Plainfield, just north of Seattle, Washington. Very cool. And this aircraft is currently active on Cathay Pacific's international network. Wearing the registration of Bravo Dash Kilo Quebec Foxtrot, this aircraft here was delivered to Cathay Pacific on May the 20th of the year 2013 and is equipped with two General Electric GE90-115 Bravo engines. Currently the world's largest engines in passenger commercial operation. They're very cool. And of course cargo as well. Of course they're equipped on the 777 freighter as well. Very nice. And this aircraft was ferried between Boeing Plainfield and Everett directly to Hong Kong on May the 20th and 21st in 2013 on its delivery flight. So very cool. With that out of the way, let's go ahead and check out the box. So very cool. This model here was featured in the mega unboxing of 18 model aircraft. If you missed out on that, go ahead and check it out. Top right corner right about now. So we have the top left corner, we have the Cathay Pacific logo here, and spanning across the box we have the Boeing 777-300ER text. Very nice, very cool. Here we have the 2D rendering of the aircraft, looking fantastic with the enlarged Cathay Pacific title. I think this makes the aircraft look a lot better. I did mention in the unboxing of this aircraft that if I liked the look of it, I would go ahead and get the one world livery. I'm a man of my word, and I did go straight ahead and purchase it a couple of days ago prior to the recording of this video, so hopefully that will be coming out in an unboxing fairly soon. In the background you can just make out the tail fin of Cathay Pacific with the brushwork. I think it's the brushwork logo of Cathay Pacific in the background there. Here we have in the bottom of the box here, if I can focus on it again, we have the registration, the Bravo Dash Kilo Quebec Foxtrot with the 1:50 scale die-cast model aircraft details there. Bottom of the panel here we have the aircraft type, the 777-300ER text there with the registration below that, and the 2D rendering of the aircraft. And of course we have the barcode here as well with the item number below that. On the right hand panel we have the aircraft type again with the Cathay Pacific logo very small for some reason, and then here we have the die-cast metal 1:50 scale decals there, details. On the top panel we have what is identical to the bottom panel. Then we have on this side the left panel identical to what's seen on the left hand panel. On the bottom panel we have the 2D rendering of the aircraft itself, looking rather nice indeed in this livery. And then on the bottom, right at the bottom of the panel we have the barcode, the item number, and of course the details for the warning information. Very nice, and this aircraft made in China is always in terms of NG models. Of course that's where they're based in. I believe they're based in Guangzhou, the hub airport for China Southern. Very nice, just north of Hong Kong as well. So that's that part of the video done for you guys, the reading out of the information about the airline and the aircraft and the showcasing of the box. So let's go ahead and check out the model. And here is the absolutely stunning Cathay Pacific Boeing 777-300ER released by NG Models, was wearing the revised and enlarged Cathay Pacific titles. This model here was released by NG Models in their January 2025 release, alongside the Delta 350-900 wearing the LA-28 livery, and of course the 350 Freighter, also released by NG Models in the same release. That was the most recent model review here on the channel. I'm going to go ahead and check it out, top right corner right about now. That will be leading you to that video. In this portion of the video, I'm going to showcase the model up close for you guys, giving you some insights about what each of the details do in terms of the components on the aircraft. Let's go ahead and dive in straight into the review of this model. First and foremost, zooming right into the aircraft and getting the aircraft up close for you guys. Now here is the absolutely stunning aircraft, looking very, very nice indeed. One of my favourite liveries on the 777 at the moment in terms of Cathay Pacific. It is absolutely fantastic, especially lightened up with the large Cathay Pacific titles. It would be great to see if they do this on their 350-1000 perhaps, or the 350s in general. And of course I think the older titles are very small, a bit like the Korean Air titles on the 350 for some reason. I don't know why they went ahead and put the very small titles. I believe maybe they're anticipating the new livery to be on their 350s. But back to Cathay Pacific. Here we have at the front of the aircraft, going to the nose here. Here we have what is known as the nose cone. Underneath that is a component called the weather radar. Now the weather radar is used to detect storms along the flight path of a flight. to give a visual indication to the pilots of the rainfall intensity ahead of them, also the possibility of turbulence as well. This enables the crew or the pilots to navigate around any potentially hazardous areas along the flight plan that they've assigned for their flight. Very nice indeed. Now here we have the cockpit windows of the 777 here, and of course the window wipers of the cockpit as well. Now here we have on the side of the aircraft, here we can see the pitot tube just there, and the AOA sensor, or the angle of attack sensor. Now the pitot tube is used to measure fluid flow velocity, while the angle of attack is used to offer a visual indication of the amount of lift the wings are generating at a given airspeed or angle of bank. Very nice indeed. Now this large icon here is the very famous icon called the brush wing logo. Now this was introduced in the early 1990s, and particularly it was introduced in November of 1994. First deployed on a Boeing 747-300, registered as Victor Romeo Hotel Oscar Tango, and then later on registered as Bravo Hotel Oscar Tango. I'll put an image on the screen right about now for you guys. Also giving the credit to the photographer as well. Photographer there, very cool. This livery here, seen on this livery, was introduced in November 2015. Also on a 777-300ER, keeping the brush wing logo, but that aircraft this livery was introduced on was Bravo Kilo Papa Mike, Bravo Kilo Papa Mike. Very nice, and indeed some information for you there. Here we have the nose gear with the nose gear door. Very cool. You can see the nose gear freely rotates on the axis there. QF or Quebec Foxtrot, the last 2 digits of the registration. Very cool. Here is the first of the cabin doors on this aircraft, the L1 boarding door, and to the right of that we can see the one-wheeled logo there. On Cathay Pacific was one of the founding members. It was one of the founding members of the One World Alliance, and was so on February the 1st of 1999 when the One World Alliance was created or founded, alongside members like American Airlines, British Airways, Qantas and Canadian Airlines. Very nice indeed. As mentioned, here is the very large Cathay Pacific title seen on this aircraft. Very cool indeed. And then below the cabin doors, cabin windows, just here in the middle of the shot, we can make out the pedostatic system that is used to determine an aircraft's airspeed, Mach number, altitude trend. I believe this is what is used to create the graphs you can see on apps like Flight Radar 24 or Plane Finder. Very nice indeed, or any of the other array of apps you use to plane spot around the world. Very cool. Now here is the L2 boarding door just in the middle of the shot, and next to that of course would be the One World logo as well. Here we have an antenna on top of the fuselage there. Very cool. And on the bottom there should be one fairly close as well. Now in the shot, in the middle of the shot just there, is the wing light, and that is used, or the landing light, that is used to when the aircraft is on an active runway or within the restricted airspace between or heights between 0 and 10,000 feet. Above that, it will be able to be turned off to the pilot's discretion. Very nice indeed. Now here we have the interior of the number 1 engine. That is of course the General Electric GE90 engine. Sorry for the bump there. A very nice look of the fan blades there. Very cool. The absolutely massive GE90 engines. Best sound in the world in terms of the startup of the aircraft. Here we have the side profile of the GE90 looking rather cool indeed, with the GE90 emblem there on the side of the nacelle there, looking rather cool indeed. Of course here is the exhaust of the engine. Here we have the bottom look of the landing gear. As you can see, they do roll on this model. Very cool indeed. The triple bogey of the 777, rather cool. And then here we have on the top of the wing here, we can see the arrows leading from the Lima 3 door there, our 3 door for the emergency exit door. Of course, that of course is where the people would be instructed to go when exiting the aircraft. That black line is mainly seen on the 300ER variant. Also, I believe it's also seen on the 200LR variant, I believe. Might be wrong in saying that. Now that black line is to border where the engine is. As you can see, the engine is pretty much identical, or parallel with it, adjacent to it across that. Pretty much a no-go area for any of the people going onto the wing. Of course, when the engine is on, it'd be pretty stupid to get to go past that line. Common sense should prevail. Moving down the wing here we have the rate wingtip. One of the main differences, or to identify whether this is the stock standard 300 non-ER or the 300ER extended range, is what ER abbreviates. Of course, the other main difference on the 300 is non-ER is that this engine here would be a Rolls-Royce engine, not a GE90 or General Electric engine. Now here we have on the end of the wing here, if I can get it to focus again, we have the red navigation light. Very, very cool. Now moving down the aircraft here we have what is called the SATCOM, or the Wi-Fi dome. This is what provides the IFE on board the aircraft. IFE abbreviating to in-flight entertainment. That of course is what you see behind each of the seats on those screens. Very cool. Here we have sort of an up-close view of the L4 door, another one of the emergency exit doors. Very cool. And here we have an antenna on the bottom of the aircraft here, and two more on the top of the fuselage. Here we have at the rear of the aircraft where we have the registration Bravo-Kilo Quebec Foxtrot. If I can get it to focus, there we go. And here we have the Swire Group logo here. And the Swire Group is a Hong Kong and London based British company with many core businesses within the Asia Pacific region. The Swire Group was founded in 1816, so quite a long time ago. And here we have, next to that we have the Lima 5 door. Now this could also be used as a boarding door, whether you're boarding or disembarking the aircraft via the air stairs onto the apron, leading to those buses that would take you to the terminal. Very cool. Now here we have the tail fin, or the empennage of the aircraft, background being the famous green, and in the middle we can see the brush wing logo. Very cool. As mentioned, this was introduced in the early 1990s, specifically November 1994 on that 747 I referenced earlier. Very cool indeed. I believe I have seen some Cathay Pacific aircraft around the world, the most recent one being in Auckland, I remember. Cathay Pacific do operate their 350-1000s or 350-900s to Christchurch now in the summertime. Haven't yet spotted one, but cannot wait to the next summer to when they come back. And here we have the famous wedged APU here. Very cool. Very unique to the 777. And those small prongs there, not too sure if they are meant to be there. I think the APU is meant to be squared off, not too sure, but very cool. Of course, the APU is only seen on this side, cannot be seen on the other side, the exhaust of course. Very cool. I'll show you the other side later on in the video. And here we have the elevators of this aircraft. Of course, you can see those two small dots on each of the elevators there. They are called the logo lights or the tail lights. They are used to light up the tail fin during night operations to give an easy identification to anyone within the control tower, to give them the sense of who's operating the aircraft. Of course, in this case it would be Cathay Pacific. Could also be used as a marketing tool to anyone within or around an airfield, to give them the sense to maybe want to fly Cathay Pacific perhaps, or easier to spot during night operations. Very cool for when plane spotting around an airfield. Very nice indeed. Let's go ahead and check out the opposite side of the aircraft. The main differences on this side of the aircraft is that we have a cargo compartment just here, if I'm able to focus on it for you guys, just there for you guys. Very cool. And then moving down the aircraft, we can see the rear baggage compartment, if I'm able to focus on it for you guys. Very cool. And then here we have the opposite side of the APU. Yeah, just like I mentioned just a moment ago, there is no exhaust on this side. Very nice. And on the end of the wing here, we can make out the green navigation light. And here we have the number 2 edition of the General Electric GE90 engine. Not too sure if I mentioned, but here on the inboard part of the GE90s, we can see that little prong there. That is called the vortex generator. That is used to deflect any airflow against the leading edge of the wing here. That of course is where the wing flaps, the four flaps are. The main flaps are here on the wing. That is what helps generate the lift from the wings. Very cool. Now that this vortex generator you can see in the middle of the shot there also helps develop that airflow, that the vapor trail you can see over the top part of the wing when the aircraft is rotating out of an airfield. Very nice. And of course the brush wing logo is also flipped around. Very nice. Let's have a brief look at the bottom of the aircraft momentarily. Now in the middle of the shot you can make out the nose gear door. Very cool. That of course is where the nose gear would retract into once it has departed the airport. Very cool. Here we have the beacon light on the bottom of the aircraft. I will have a look at them in a moment to see if there is one on the top as well. Here we have the landing gear doors. Should be pretty obvious that this is where the landing gears retract into when departed an airfield or an airport. Here we have the red outline of where the ram air turbine would be, otherwise abbreviated to the RAT. Very cool. Of course, this is that small propeller-like device that extends from a fuselage, or the fuselage, helping to provide more power to the engines, I believe. Very cool. Also can be mainly used or seen when the aircraft is in testing. Very cool. Here we have the underside of the GE90 engines, looking rather fancy indeed. And then here we have the registration, Bravo-Kilo Quebec Foxtrot. And then moving down the aircraft, we can see more detailed along here. Here is where the tail skid would be. I like how engine models have shown where this would be. The tail skid is that small wheel device at this part of the aircraft to help sustain any blows in terms of tail strikes. Very cool. That of course is to help the main skin of the fuselage. Very cool. And then here we have the entryway to the APU. APU abbreviated to the auxiliary power unit. Very cool. This is of course an additional engine on board the aircraft. Now let's have a look and see if there's a beacon light on the top of the fuselage, as of course there is one. Very nice indeed. And that will pretty much do it for the model review of this Cathay Pacific 777-300ER wearing the enlarged titles there. Apologies for the zooming out there. Now, if you enjoy what you saw in today's video, go ahead and leave a thumbs up below. It'd be a great indication of how much you enjoyed today's video, and of course the content here throughout this channel. If you want to come along and view more content like this, go ahead and subscribe below by hitting that subscribe button. Of course, while you're there, din the bell icon to come along and view more content like this as soon as the videos go live onto the channel. If you want to go ahead and comment below what you enjoyed in today's video, it would be helpful to know if there's any feedback you have in terms of moving forward in terms of model reviews. I have more model reviews coming up very soon, so any feedback would be appreciated. Or let me know what you enjoyed in today's video as well. Do you have this model in your collection? Let me know what you enjoy of the model. Let me know your thoughts below. If you want to go ahead and share this video to your friends as well, or anyone who may benefit from this video, that would be very handy to know. If this model review did provide some insights or help you go ahead and get the model yourself, that would be handy to know. If you'd like to go ahead and support me on any other place on social media, go ahead and scan the QR code you can see on the screen now. That will lead you straight ahead to my Instagram page for Asia International Airport. That is the main place for where I post the images of my model aircraft, and of course the ins and outs of my airports network, and of course the news in terms of what I'm doing or updating on in terms of social media. But if you want to go ahead and scan the QR code you can see on the screen now, that will lead you straight to my Linktree page, providing you to easy access to all of the other links that I have in my catalogue for social media, whether that's my website or any other place. But of course, if you don't have the means to scan any QR codes you just saw a moment ago, go ahead and find the links in the description below for easy access to where you need to go. Now that will do it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed what you saw in today's video, the model review of this Cathay Pacific Boeing 777-300ER. More model reviews will be coming out very soon. Not too sure when the next one will be, but stay tuned by subscribing and dinging the bell icon as mentioned to turn on notifications as soon as the videos go live onto the channel. Now on the end screen will be some options for you guys. On the left hand side will be the most recent video here on the channel. On the right hand side will be the full playlist of model reviews I've done here on this channel. In the middle will be where you can subscribe. But until next time, guys, fly safe, stay safe, and I will see you guys in the next one.